Oh yeah. 100%. I've never had my own opinions distilled in such a way where I'm like, that's not gonna end well. Well, that's the so like one of the sickest jokes that that we tell like in the wheelchair rugby community is about like the guy, the Paralympian like sprinter that like murdered his wife and I think family, like, and we're always like, huh, real inspirational, huh? Like real like yes, yeah. Um, and we're like, yeah, super inspirational now, guys, huh? Huh? God. Um, one of the funniest. What's that guy? Uh, who's the Australian Louis C.K. God. Who am I thinking of? Jim Jeffries. Jim Jeffries. I found it. Yeah. I still remember him. There's something so funny about Jim Jeffries pretending to kick down a door with a prosthetic running leg. Oh man, that's 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 next level sick. Uh, okay, okay. I mean, we can start whenever. Yeah, we're on standby.
We're going to Gambletown.
Gambletown.
We got a new song.
Hey man, when you win like we did last week, start singing.
Yeah, I am singing. I'm just sad that I couldn't keep up with you guys. My paltry 3-2 record was no match for your 4-1 records. We were like 4 Cam Scadaboo rushing yards away
I know.
from
It was so
5-0
disappointing.
season, 2-5-0 picks.
Well, it was honestly though, it was really important for Cam Scatabo to wait until the week he went against me on Ryan's team in our big money
Oh,
league
Right.
to go
To get
off.
3 touchdowns.
I think that has to become part of your process is to make sure you start the guy who's going against you that you don't like because that's when he's going to go off.
Before we hit the bets, did you guys know about the thing that was on Twitter, the Benson Boner fantasy league?
I have
No.
no idea what this is, but
Okay, so
about it.
it's a fantasy league where it's regular scoring, but if your guy does a backflip, they take the current Spotify play count of Beautiful Things by Benson Boone and divide it by 50 million, and that's how many points your team loses.
Oh my god, that's fantastic.
So like a couple weeks ago, Tyreek hit a flip and they were like, yeah, it just cost this guy 49.2 points. This was a few weeks ago. But Cam Scatabo hit 3 flips last night. So someone lost like 150 points
Oh
in their fantasy
shit.
league. So, I thought that was pretty fucking funny. So
How do you work that into ADP is what I want to know.
So wait, I feel like if that's your league, you got to look at someone like Cam Scatabo and be like, you're on the waivers for the entire
Yeah.
year.
Yeah,
Like
that's my do not draft. For sure.
They might jump to him on sidelines during defensive like series, and he might just be doing flips, just
Right. Well,
waiting to get ready.
My wonder is like, what if there's a guy on the Titans that's been doing flips every time he gets a first down? No one would know. It's like no one watches. So you got to avoid anyone who plays on primetime.
Sure.
All right,
I'm not-
let's get back to it though, guys. I'm going to talk
All
about
right.
some show records here.
All right.
We are on to season 43 and 32, so we're doing pretty well. We are being
Nice.
carried on the back of over the last 4 weeks, though. We are 37 and 23. As we got more data, we got better. And Tony is carrying this team this year.
Yeah.
17 and 8 on the season.
good.
That's okay though, because Ryan and I both have winning records at 13 and 12. So
Yeah.
top 5 bets of the week. We're bringing it this year, and we're going to keep bringing it for you.
Yeah.
On the parlays last week as a show, we were 11 and 4. Like I said before, Ryan, Tony, 4 and 1. I was 3 and 2. That's what I get for believing in Travis Etienne. I feel for Travis Etienne how you did for Cam Scadaboo, where it's like, I bet you because it said I should, and I hate myself for doing it. Like,
Well, Waleed, if it makes you feel any better, Travis Etienne's like my running back in my big money league, so it's all full circle, man.
I look, Travis Etienne is having a good year. I liked him this year. I did get a lot of Tooters, but I got a lot of Etienne in best ball because like Liam Cohen knows how to scheme run, and Doug Peterson did not. Doug Peterson just loved putting Travis Etienne in terrible situations.
That's true.
Anyway, we do have a new king, same as the old king, our Viscount of Gambletown.
Yep.
Ryan hit his Mason Taylor bet.
Yeah.
The rest of us did
3.5
not hit ours.
3.5 receptions. I should have taken the alternate of like 8 and gotten like plus
he's
500.
no AJ Barner.
I think he had 9 catches. That's crazy.
All right, and I'm going to pass this off to you, Tony.
All right, let's party. Let's go through our top 5 bets of the week. As your reigning leaderboard clubhouse leader, I'm going to start my first top 5 bet of the week. These numbers are all going up. Like I said, if you want to send out an email to THfantaC@gmail.com and get these picks right when I get them, please do. I got Davante Adams over 61.5 receiving yards on BetMGM. Davante Adams is a system play. For those of you that don't know, all of my top 5 bets, when applicable, are system plays. And Davante Adams going against the Ravens beat up man coverage should be an easy cash. That is my first top 5 play of the week. Ryan, since you went 4 and 1 last week, what is your top 5 play of the week?
Yeah, all these went up because I was looking at them last night. Right now, Davante's at 64.5. I think he was even at like 68.5 last night, but obviously they pulled back a little bit.
I think I just got him this morning at 64.5.
Guys, I'm going back to the well and doing what I know works. I always do well with my reception bets. So 4 out of my 5 bets this week are receptions. So first one I'm going to do is Stefon Diggs over 4.5 receptions. New England's taking on New Orleans this week, and Diggs has now shown that he is the number 1 receiver on that team.
Well, they're doing what we said over the summer, right? On the TH Fantasy podcast over the summer, we said if they put Stefon Diggs in the slot, he's going to crush.
Yep.
Right.
And I heard someone trying to say like, well, what are you going to do with Pop Douglas? And the answer is, who cares?
Who cares?
Like, you have Stefon Diggs.
Right. 3 out of the 5 games this year, he's had 6 or more receptions, including last week where he had 10. So
yep,
he's developed a little bit of a rapport, and hopefully I think he can get 5 catches in the first half. We'll see. We'll see.
And I will say this line has actually gone up. When I was looking at it at the casino, it's now 5.5 as his reception line. Like,
is it at 5.5 at plus money?
Which means, it's like plus like 103 or something like that. But that just means that people are hammering that over, which means that means the sharps are on it. It's a good sign that's a good bet.
Yep,
definitely glad I got it at 4.5 then.
And our boy Drake May is cooking this year.
Yes, he is.
All right, Waleed, your first top 5 bet of the week.
My first top 5 bet of the week. What happens when you take the number one tight end in fantasy football and put him up against a defense that has given up the most yards to the tight end, what you get is a Jake Ferguson 48.5 receiving yards over for me. This was I saw this line. I was like, there's no way I'm not going to bet.
Yeah.
I don't see how it doesn't happen.
I love that too, Waleed. I went with his receptions, but yeah, I love Big Ferg this week.
His reception line actually went up too. He's at 6.5 now.
Yeah, we still have CD is out still, so
yep. It's gonna be look, there's gonna be a lot of receiving, but it's gonna go. We know that they like the tight end. We know he's like Ferguson's established himself as the clear number 2. And honestly, you can make an argument he's the number 1 receiving option on his offense. He's getting a lot more looks than Pickens on a game-to-game basis. So
sure.
Yeah, he is actually, not counting Thursday night's game, not that it fucking matters. He is second in the league in receptions.
Yep. Yeah, Jake Ferguson.
That's crazy.
Killing it
So
this year.
shout out Big Ferg.
Yeah,
all right.
My Cowboy stacks and best ball love Jake Ferguson this year.
Sure.
So
it's true. All right, my second top 5 bet of the week. We're gonna start the week off early, British style. Cortland Sutton over 59.5 receiving yards. You guys, there's no reason to be afraid of Sauce Gardner anymore. Nope. Like, you got to stop holding on to your priors and being like, he's gonna get shadowing. Okay, cool, sounds good.
Yeah. Look at what happened to the Jets last week.
He can shadow Cortland Sutton all he wants. Cortland Sutton's one of the best separators in football right now.
Cortland Sutton smoked Quinyon Mitchell last week.
Who was a much better cornerback than Sauce Gardner.
Right. So Cortland Sutton is one of my top plays of the week. He's going against a pretty heavy cover 4 defense, and he is the second best separator in the league at cover 4. For some reason, Denver's passing at a crazy rate over expected, so I slammed the Cortland Sutton over. I got it at 59.5.
It's right now it's at 62.5 when I checked to make my bets this morning.
Still let it ride.
Yeah, no, it's a no-brainer. Sure. Like these, like those. It's nice to get like a couple of yards. Oh, actually, I think it's only at 60.5 right now. But like a couple of yards doesn't make much difference because these guys usually hit by a significant amount.
Correct. Okay, so Ryan, your second bet of the week.
All right, guys. This week I'm going Josh Jacobs. I took his alternate rushing and receiving 100+ yards. It's at minus 110. I didn't look at what it was this morning, but last night it was at minus 110. He's going up against the Bengals defense that's giving up the most fantasy points to running backs. In his career with the Packers, he's averaging 20.3 touches. And in a game where we think the Packers are probably going to be playing ahead most of the time, I think it's easily done. And look at what he did last week at Dallas. He had like 70 yards receiving and almost 100 yards on the ground. So against these porous defenses, I think this is Josh Jacobs' game. 100+ alt rushing and receiving.
Okay. Love it. Waleed, your second bet.
My second bet is so I like, usually I'll take one receiver from Tony's model and I take the one that matches up with my usage model. And everything this week points to a Ted McMillan like receiving over. Like I got it at 70.5. Like if I'm gonna just spoil Tony got it in at 62.5. But
I think it's at 72 now.
It's smashing up because all the sharps know this is a breakout week for Ted. I have so much action on Ted this week. You're going to see it later in my parlays and my milli bet. But Ted McMillan is getting volume, and he's going up against a Dallas Cowboys defense that's probably the worst against the pass in football. So give me all of the Ted McMillan shares this week.
Yep. Cowboys giving up 139.8 receiving yards to wide receivers lined up out wide, and Ted McMillan getting 8 targets a game. You love to see it.
And overall, they're giving up the second most yards to wide receivers. The first most is the New York Giants, who have an extra game in there. So
exactly. So I'm also my third top 5 bet of the week. I got it at 62.5. Ted McMillan. He is him. I don't know if anyone's ever mentioned that to anybody before. That he's him.
He looks so good, and it's not showing up on the stats sheet. But like, he's a guy from a fantasy football standpoint. I'm trying to buy him because I think he's only going to get better as the year goes on.
Sure.
Yep. So, yeah, one of the best separators. By the way, against man coverage, which if Dallas can't get to Bryce Young, they're going to need to blitz, which puts usually man in the secondary. Ted McMillan averages 4.88 yards per route run against man. Just yards per route run. Doesn't matter like how many routes. Like 4.88 yards every time he's run up against man. That's just bonkers to me. All right, Ryan, your third top 5 bet of the week.
Guys, another reception over. We're going with Michael Pittman against Arizona Cardinals this week. I got him at 4.5 receptions. I don't think that one has gone up. I'll check right now.
No, it's the same.
I mean, it's juiced. It's juiced. A lot of people are betting it. Where did I get it at?
Minus 148, I think. Or at least that's what I saw it at the casino.
146.
Somewhere around there.
146.
Look at
So,
that recall on gambling lines.
I really like Daniel Jones against Arizona this week, especially if Arizona can put up some points. That'll just mean Jones has to throw a bunch. I really hope it doesn't turn into another 3-touchdown Taylor game. But even in that game last week, Pittman still had, I think, 6 catches, so should be fine.
He's had over 4.5 receptions in four of his last 5 games.
Oh yeah, I wrote that down. He has only not gotten that number once this season. That was week 2. He had 4. Every other week's 5, 5, 6, 6.
Hell yeah.
I'll shout out to Tony, who in the offseason told you if Danny Dimes was the quarterback, Michael Pittman was going to be a great value this year. And
Sure was.
Boy, was he right.
Sure was. Wish I had more of them. But no, I had to draft AJ Brown. No, I'm just kidding.
That's your boy.
That is my boy. That's why I'm kidding.
Let's be honest. You weren't making the choice between AJ Brown and Michael Pittman. They were in very different tiers.
No, but there was an error in our draft board on
that's right.
on our big money league, and Bucky Irving was listed as undraftable. So I made them stop the draft because I'm like, this is how we need someone to draft Bucky if he's available. And then just to flex on everyone, I drafted AJ Brown at that spot instead.
You'll win the war, don't worry.
Yeah, dude, fucking flex on him. All right, Waleed, your third top 5 bet of the week.
My third bet, and this tells you how badly I think of the Bears' run defense. That I'm taking Jacory Crosby Merritt Bill rushing over 66.5. Yeah, of course. Really, look, I love my Bears, but numbers are numbers. The Bears, this is the number 1 offensive line grade of the season is on the Commanders here. They're just this is the best matchup of the week. The Bears are giving up. Hold on, let me find the exact number for you guys here. They are giving up. Oh, sorry. 1 second here.
All right, while you look, Zachy says in the Discord that it's Ahmad Gardner now. He's not good enough to be called Sauce.
Love it. I agree. The Bears are giving up 2.7 yards per attempt before contact. I'm sorry, 3.02. I was looking at the wrong column.
Ugh.
But 3 yards before contact. That's disgusting.
They might play better this week because Grady Jarrett's out.
Okay.
Yuck. But yeah, JCM, I like JCM. So you got it at 66.5?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then I'm going to go with my fourth top 5 bet of the week. And it is Jackson Smith and Jigba over 75.5 receiving yards. There is no reason why we should still be playing this number this low. Doesn't make any sense to me.
I think it's up to it's over 80 now.
As it should be. Jacksonville allows the most receiving yards per game to receivers aligned out wide. You had Jamar Chase and Jake Browning look competent. You had Nico Collins go for over 100 yards against Jacksonville. JSN has gotten 90 or more scrimmage yards in every game. And he's also, like I said, like all my guys, he's a system play. They play cover 4 at the 20th. Or they play at 13% of their snaps, and he is getting 65.2% of his team's first read targets against cover 4. So he's also the best
Okay.
separator in the league. And also one last thing, I was freaking out about Tet's 4.88 yards per route run against man. Against cover 4, Jackson Smith and Jigba averages 7.68 yards per route run.
That is disgusting.
Yeah.
That line right now too, like, because Tony got these bets in, like he puts his custom bets in as soon as those lines open, and he gets much better value. Jackson Smith and Jigba right now 83.5. I'm still smashing it because he's hit that over every week.
Yeah, we love JSN this week. All right, so Ryan, your bet 4.
Guys, this goes along with Waleed's Big Ferg bet. I took Big Ferg over 5.5 receptions. I don't know why it's not at like 6.5, or plus money
It
at
is.
7.5.
It actually is now. It's plus 100 at 6.5 as of
Oh, really?
like 2 hours ago.
Yeah, I got it at 158 at 5.5. Look, guys, week 1 was the only week he did not have more than that, and he had 5 catches. Week 2, 9. Week 3, 13. Weeks 4 and 5, 7. And we have CD Lamb out. I don't see how he doesn't have another 7 or 8 catches. So yeah, Big Ferg all week.
Love it. Waleed, bet number 4.
Bet number 4. So the number 1 team offensive line matchup grade was the Bears. The Vegas has the number 3 against the Tennessee Titans. And it's a very simple question for me here. I'm taking Genty over 76.5 rushing yards because do I think the Tennessee Titans are capable of winning 2 games in a row? I don't. I just I can't see it. I know that the Raiders aren't that good, but I mean, it took a miracle for the Titans to do what they did last week. I'm not.
Quick.
I'm taking that
Right.
Genty over.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried because of the offensive line injuries they have, but that defensive line is so bad. I'm just going to bet on talent.
Right. Quick, we need a super producer Josh to look up the last time Titans won 2 games in a row.
They also like Zachy had pointed this out in the THfantaC chat that the Raiders have realized over the past few weeks that like their pass game not really helping.
Yep.
So they've been like one of the creeping up on highest like rush rates over expectation. So I think they recognize like, hey, this kid is like the only thing we got going right now, especially with Bowers out.
And I'll be honest, I considered going for a rushing and receiving line total for Genty because I could see it kind of being like a split here. They've been getting him involved a lot more in the passing game over the last couple of weeks too. They realize they need to get the ball into Genty if they're going to have any chance of like getting first downs.
Right. Okay. And then so I'm on my last one. My last of my top 5 bets of the week. Listen, man, you close your eyes, you bet the system, you go with what it tells you. Lad McConkey over 52.5 receiving yards on BetMGM, which I got early. Hey man,
It hasn't changed.
shocking.
No.
Dude, Lad is still like he's pretty much playing exactly the same way he played last year. Just the team is just worse right now.
Sure.
And one thing that's probably worth noting is Quentin Johnson came up on the injury report with a hamstring injury.
It's true. But also, Ladd is the second best separator in football against cover 2, going against the team that plays cover 2 the most in the league and allows the second most EPA per dropback. So if you've been holding on to Ladd, which you should, if you cut Ladd, you're an idiot. Yeah. This is a start Ladd with confidence week for me, and his line at 52.5 is no issue.
Sure.
Yep.
All right, Ryan?
My last bet this week, guys, really quick though, I wanted to share the last time the Titans won 2 games in a row was November of 2022.
That's actually incorrect,
almost
Ryan. The answer is the preseason.
The preseason. I'm talking regular season.
Yeah.
They beat the Packers and the Broncos consecutively. That was the last time they won 2 games. Anyways, guys, my last reception bet for the week, I got it at, I think, minus 102. This was the least juiced reception bet. But guys, it's going to the touchdown monster in Puka Nacua. I mean, it's at 8.5 seems high, but when you look at what he's done on the year, week 2 he had 8 catches, and every other week he had 10 or more. Week 1, 10. Week 3, 11. Week 4, 13. Week 5, 10. That doesn't seem 8.5 seems smashable. I don't. And in a game where the Rams, God damn it, the Rams
And sort of similar to what Tony,
Baltimore's defense,
and sort of similar to what Tony's been talking about. I think it's in the back of people's minds that the Ravens just have a good defense by default because of history, but that has not been the case for.
They have a great defense when their players are healthy.
Right, a lot of them are injured.
Not as good.
Yeah, a lot of them are injured. So I think Puka Nacua's 8.5 reception line at -102. Like, I'm surprised it's not juiced to at least -130. So -102 is a great line for that. Let's see, what is it at now? I don't think it's probably changed. Let's see. It is at still 10, or it's actually at +102 now.
Hell yeah. Well, they're worried about the weather, I think, right?
Yep, that's the thing. The weather's gonna impact that, and that probably leads into my last bet of the week, because you like your receivers in that game, but I think this is a Kyren.
Yeah, you were saying that earlier in the week.
Kyren over 72.5 rushing yards. Here's the thing: Baltimore's defense is not good right now. Lamar Jackson's not going to be playing. I think there's going to be a lot of grinding that clock out, and just because of potential weather. And frankly, the Rams run the ball a lot, or as good as their receivers are doing. I think, truth be told, the only reason I'm going Kyren here, I wanted to look for the Colston, Loveland, Cole Kmet receiving overs. That would have been my 5th bet of the week, but there aren't lines posted because we don't know if Colston Loveland's going to be healthy, so they haven't posted any of the tight end receiving lines. But whichever one's starting, I want a receiving over, because Washington gives up the most or second most receiving yards to tight ends.
Right, that makes sense.
But yeah, Kyren over 72.5.
Okay, cool. So then let's move on to our parlays real quick. By the way, I do want to say, even though this isn't the official parlay, one of the things that I do each week is my receiver model bets. I put like $5 down on them to all win, or them to all get 30 receiving yards, 40 receiving yards, and then 50 receiving yards. I just ladder them. And even 30 receiving yards for all of my guys would be, I got it at +182. So, yeah, getting them, and when I got them all up to 50 or more receiving yards, I got that up to +886. So,
I have a little bit of extra money. I might go back to the casino and just throw that in there, because I think you're right. I was telling Tony what I'm going to probably start doing. I did a couple of 2-3 leg round robins for that, because like Tony's model is hitting at an 80% rate since he started at these scores. So just doing the round robin, as long as 1 of the 3 of the legs on both of my 2 sides hits, I'm going to make a good return on my investment for 3 leg and 2 leg. And I'll probably increase that up a little bit more to 4 legs, 5 legs. The more successful it is. I'm going to slowly work my way up to just trying to cash, because there is nothing better in gambling right now than Tony's.
Sure.
So Zach, you pointed out that QJ only had 4 targets last week, but potentially it's because of the offensive line, which totally makes sense. Keenan had 9 targets, Ladd had 7, QJ had 4. I think there's room for Keenan and Ladd to eat. I think this game, that Chargers-Dolphins game's got clown ball potential written all over it. So that could easily be the highest scoring game of the week.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I'm like, that's got to be one of the highest totals of the week, right? Only 43.5. Yeah, it's in Miami. Are they going to have that storm too?
No. I was just going to say, Waleed, I just pulled up the weather for the East Coast. They have a nor'easter going through today, and it looks like it's going to make its way up to the middle of the East Coast and New York area by tomorrow. So the southern games, all the Florida games, should be fine. Jacksonville especially says it's going to be just partly sunny. But Baltimore game tomorrow, 50% chance of rain. There is a 10 to 15 mile an hour wind. but
which is
it's
right
not
on the
gonna be
cusp
like,
of when wind speeds actually affect like passing game.
yeah, it's
like
not going to be like a torrential downpour. It just says occasional showers, so
Okay.
it shouldn't be too bad.
Well, and just you got to remember what direction that wind is in, because if you listen to the TH Fantasy podcast
Oh,
this
that's
week,
right.
you'll know that while Dallas gives up the most receiving yards in the league, Baltimore allows the most receiving yards against them when the wind is blowing south, southeast, or southwest.
It will be a northeast
I
direction
loved that
tomorrow.
when I heard it.
Yeah.
It's going to be northeasterly.
So Ravens are winning. All right. So let's talk about our parlays this week. Ryan, we'll have you go first.
Okay, let's see. My parlays for this week, guys. My money line parlay. I went with two teams that Tony has. I did Indy and Buffalo, but then I got some spicy plus odds on Detroit winning. I don't see how.
How is Detroit an
Yeah.
underdog?
I got them at plus 120. I don't know if it went down. Let's see.
It did a
That's
little
what
bit.
I was wondering. Yeah, still show it at plus 120 on FanDuel. So Indy, Buffalo, Detroit, and then for some spice, I threw in Jacksonville.
Shocking.
Dude, 100 long. Plus 689, I threw $5 down to win almost 40. And then my other parlay, I went with the Dallas Carolina game, and I used a myriad of like all our bets. I did Big Fergs
I love
over
this.
I did Big Fergs over 5.5 receptions. I did Tets over 5.5 receptions. I did Javante 80 plus rushing and receiving. And Prescott's 225 plus pass yards because his line was around 250, so I just altered it down a little bit. That got me plus 617 odds. Threw $5 down to win a little over 35.
Hell yeah. Okay, cool. Let me throw you my money line parlays real quick. Indy, Rams, Packers, Bills. Got that at plus 148, taking all favorites, hoping for the best. Trying to claw through that generational wealth. Plus 148, $10 down to win 24.75 back. And then I went with something fun for the London game. Denver plays a shitload of man coverage, so I have Justin Fields going over 36.5 rushing. This is when Fields shines on the ground. My hope is the Mason Taylor over 34.5 receiving yards, and I took Evan Ingram over 23.5. They are absolutely a tight end funnel, or sorry, a short pass funnel, because they're a bad football team. I don't know. So, like Jake Ferguson had 50 yards receiving last week. Waller had 2 touchdowns last week against the Jets. So I'm riding that hand. I'm also thinking Mason Taylor, as predicted, is the number 2 target in the Jets. So I got Ingram, Taylor, Fields overs. Got plus 500 on that. Hung 10 to win 60. Waleed, you're 2.
That rushing line when I made this parlay bet,
41.5.
Oh, I got it at like 43 or 44.5.
It's at 41.5 right now.
Fields is going to have over 50 yards. I'm not really worried about it. He either gets like 20 yards or 80 yards. So
true.
But let's get to me here, right?
Yes.
All right. So, like I said, I got a lot of Lad this week, or a lot of Tet this week. And for Tet, I did my receiver stack. He was the number 1 guy in my. He's the number 3 overall guy in my usage model, which means that Carolina is trying to get him the ball as much as possible. This matchup is so good. Has Ted had a touchdown yet?
No, sir.
No? Guess what?
No.
He will this week. Because I'm betting Ted over receiving at 70.5, over 5.5 receptions and a Ted touchdown. $10 at plus 330 will pay $43.
Beautiful. Okay.
And my next parlay, same game. We're going on the other side because this is like Dak is killing it this year, and he's going to continue to kill it. Dak over 245 passing yards, over 1.5 passing touchdowns. I'm bouncing that on with my Ferg over 48.5 receiving yards, and I'm throwing in a Ferg touchdown because Carolina can't stop tight ends, so he's going to get in the end zone.
Fatty also brings up. Go ahead, finish. Sorry.
$10 pays at plus 600 pays out $70. What were you saying?
Okay. Fatty said that Detroit's cornerbacks are decimated, and that's why they're most likely an underdog.
I mean,
I
I
just-
get it.
I
But,
don't know if the Chiefs can win in a true shootout anymore.
Yeah, that's
No.
the problem. Is their cornerbacks might be decimated, but so is Kansas City's receivers. Until Rashee Rice gets back, I don't trust that receiver core at all.
Yeah, I mean, Tyquan Thornton is what your mom says when she says we have Jamison Williams at home. So even though one of those guys has had a couple usable weeks for fantasy, and it's not JMO.
That
All
under
right.
bet hit last week.
Sure did. Not even a question. 1 catch, 9 yards. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about our Millie bets. We have to hail to the Chief, Ryan, the Viscount. Why don't you let us know how you're going to keep rolling your domination?
Guys, I hit my 3.5 Mason Taylor plus money bet last week. Netted me 24.80. So I have that to play with this week. So I just took one of my top 5 bets at -110. I took Josh Jacobs 100 plus rushing and receiving to get back 47 and some change.
Love it.
Yeah, I went a little conservative this week. I want to keep this bankroll rolling. So
Hell yeah. Okay. My millionaire bet is surprisingly my last receiver play of the week, and it's Amon-Ra St. Brown over 69.5 receiving yards. Doesn't matter who they go up against. Ben Johnson, I think, is the one that made sure that Goff spread the ball around. And under this new guy, they're like, hey, let's just throw to Amon-Ra like over and over again. So
Amon-Ra, he's wide receiver 2 in football right now after Puka.
sure is. He's like for those of you who are maybe just listening for the first time, picture Jake Ferguson, but make him a receiver. So I have him at -115 to go over 69.5 receiving yards. Waleed, your millionaire bet.
You guys, you guys can stick with your minus odds bets. I am doubling down, tripling down on Tet McMillan. He's going to have 100 yards receiving this week. Best game of his career. Plus 250, $10 will pay out $35. I won't quite catch Ryan with this bet, but I'll get there. I will become God Emperor of Gambletown soon enough.
Hey man, I would love for a big Tet week. I hope you're right. Okay, so all the bets are up on the screen, so I think it's time for us to go to our DFS plays.
Oh yeah.
And we'll have Ryan go first this week with his FanDuel play. Who you got a cute quarterback?
See. Let me pull up DFS really quick.
Who's the guy?
This week, guys, I think I want to pay down. And I'm gonna go with Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the flowing locks this week down in Jacksonville, against the Seattle defense, who we saw last week can be just as bad as any other defense.
Yeah, he's one of the cheapest quarterbacks on the slate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even the optimizer had Trevor Lawrence unstacked in the lineup this week. So
Yep.
I think that reinforces my T-Law.
Okay. All right, Waleed, your quarterback.
I am not going cheap. I'm paying up, and I want Dak Prescott. I love Dak. I think he's going to wreck it, and that's my guy. I'm taking him.
Okay. Josh, your quarterback.
I went nastier than
What?
Lawrence. I
Did
went
you go
nastier. No, I went Bryce Young
Oh,
as my
okay.
quarterback.
I mean,
I'll be
against
honest.
Dallas defense.
We're gonna
I
call
thought about this.
call that anti-chalk up the ass.
I think you're going to find a fair amount of like Bryce Young. Dallas's defense is even Fields looked like shit, and he still had a really good fantasy week. So I think it's smart. It's a good allocation of funds. I thought about going this way, but I'm going with the guy who's playing really good right now, and that is not Bryce Young.
I get that. What did I see? Oh yeah, okay. You ready? The highest scoring quarterbacks in fantasy football. This is from Scott Barrett. First highest scoring quarterback in fantasy football is the quarterback versus the Cowboys.
Yeah.
The
Oh my
second
God.
highest scoring quarterback in fantasy football is the quarterback versus the Ravens.
Yep.
The third highest scoring fantasy quarterback is the quarterback playing the Dolphins. And then 4 is Josh Allen and 5 is Lamar Jackson.
Ha ha.
Sure.
So totally makes sense. And if you're brave and you want to go against the weather, Matt Stafford is also a play there. So
Yep.
my quarterback, I'm going middle of the pack. I'm going Drake May this week. Give me 2 touchdowns through the air, 1 on the ground. Give me a big Drake May week.
Tony's newfound love boy, Drake May.
Dude, I've been saying it all summer.
Yeah.
And he's looking good.
Yeah, he looks really good, yeah.
All right. So, Ryan, your running back play of the week.
Guys, I know they say every week don't chase last week's points, but it's hard not to when Green Bay played Dallas last week and they've got Cincinnati this week. It's got to be Josh Jacobs. I'm paying up because I paid down at quarterback.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, they
Absolutely.
say in betting don't chase, and in fantasy football they say don't chase Brown.
Or what do you call it? Jamal.
That one
Never
hurts
to
me in my
Chase Brown.
soul.
Everyone said something at once. All right, Wally, you're running back.
One of my top 5 bets of the week, we're going with Ashton Genty at 6,900. That Tennessee team sucks. I'm going to take the running back, and they're funneling it to Genty. I know I'm paying up, but I'll pay up for it.
Wally in shambles during the inevitable Raheem Mostert breakout week. All right,
God.
Josh, your running back.
My running back to kind of run back the Bryce Young, I went with Javonte.
I love that
Williams.
play.
So
The optimizer, there's a lot of guys that I've seen on the optimizer pretty consistently, and I see a lot of Javonte Williams, I see a lot of T-Law, and I've seen a lot of Genty. I am going to go and hit that game up, but I'm going to go with Rico Dowdle as my running back play.
Okay.
He has already said it's a revenge game, and I'm like, okay, let's do it.
And I think the
And-
prices were set before they knew that Hubbard was out for a second consecutive week. So
Yep. And I want to make money off the downfall of Jerry Jones. That's like a win-win for me.
Okay.
All right. So, Ryan, your FanDuel HPPR receiver play of the week.
Guys, since I'm paying down at quarterback and tight end, a really low tight end, I'm going to be able to afford Jacobs and Puka Nacua was the number 1 receiver. It's going to be awesome. He's worth the high salary for the points. He's averaging like 20 or more points in FanDuel. So
I'm wondering if he's going to be lower owned because people are afraid of the weather.
potentially.
So, food for thought. All right, Waleed, your wide receiver play, your DraftKings wide receiver play.
This is going to surprise no one, but we're getting Ted McMillan because I want a little run back. He's only 6,000, and he's my number 1 receiver on the week. So I'm taking him at his price.
Okay. Josh, your receiver.
this isn't gonna surprise anybody because I basically just when I make DFS from now on, like post week 4, I just try to put all of Tony's guys into a lineup for the system. And so I'm just gonna pick my favorite. It's Jackson Smith and Jigba. He is him. Jacksonville is bad defensively. Sorry, Ryan. And it'll be a
Not
good
really.
day for him.
They're not that bad.
Well, they give up a lot of yards, that's for sure.
But they also have 99-yard pick sixes, so
That was pretty sick.
Yeah, that doesn't go
Right.
against the receiver though, so I'm
That's fair.
comfortable.
true.
I am going to say something that I'm not super high on. I'm finally just going to come to terms with my priors.
Oh, no.
And my receiver play this week is going to be Emeka Egbuka.
I mean, it makes sense. Godwin's out. Evans is still out.
Is Godwin
And-
out?
Yeah,
Yep.
he's out.
He hurt his femur again in a different spot.
God.
Yep. He is an elite cover 3 and cover 4 beater. He's got 13 fantasy points in every game to open his career. I think that people are still a little afraid of San Francisco, but Baker's going to fucking chuck it. And, yeah, I'm going to Buka.
I mean, hard not to bet on him.
Right. All right, Ryan, your tight end of the week.
Guys, we're gonna run this back to the podcast from last night. My mid tier. I mean, this guy's not even mid tier. He's low tier, but he's the ipso facto starting tight end in Jacksonville because they picked up Quentin Morris, who's historically a blocking tight end, and they also have Johnny Munt from Minnesota last year, who's historically a blocking tight end. The only person that's running routes on this team when Brenton Strange went out last week in the second half of last week's game is Mr. Hunter Long. Played 60% of the snaps and ran 24 routes, opposed to Johnny Munt, I think only ran like 4 or 5. So it's clearly the Hunter Long number 1 tight end show here. And right now, you can get him at $4,200 salary. That's going to save you a lot of money to put some spicy people in your lineups.
Hunter Long, they're playing the Seahawks, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So I want to point out 1, 2, 3. Seahawks giving up the 8th most receiving yards to tight ends, the most receptions to tight ends, and the 3rd most targets.
Hell yeah.
There you go. All right, Waleed, your tight end play.
We're going chalk. You know I love Ferg. I'm stacking him with my Dak.
Nice.
Okay.
Let's go.
Josh, your tight end.
My tight end is I've been on this guy all year. It's Juwan Johnson. He's still so cheap for being a really solid tight end.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I am going to go with one of the plays that I'm like, why is this guy the price he is? I'm going to go with Trey McBride.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he offers a ceiling that not a lot of other people have, and that's my move. So I'm going to go Trey McBride. So Ryan, your fantasy defense.
This week, guys, honestly, I'm not confident in a lot of these defenses. I'm just gonna go. Damn it, I can't make a decision. I'm gonna go New England.
Okay. Patriots.
It's a good pick.
Waleed?
Because I paid up in a bunch of other spots, I decided to go cheap here. I'm going Dolphins against the Chargers. It's one of the cheapest defenses, and there's a chance that, no running game. That offensive line is a mess. Maybe the Dolphins just kind of pull out like a wild win. Man defense.
Okay. Josh, your defense.
I'm going with the Raiders against Tennessee.
Okay.
If I didn't, I was thinking about Tennessee versus the Raiders, but I have Genty, and I didn't want to pair that.
Makes sense. My original play was also Miami because I think there's a chance they could get 5 sacks.
Yeah.
But my pivot is going to be the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
See, it could go either way. I thought about that also, Tony.
That's exactly where I was at.
My thing is
Titans are the cheaper one.
My thing is have you fucking seen Geno Smith play football this year?
Yeah, leading the league in interceptions, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah. You need one of those to be returned for a touchdown and your money in the bank.
Yeah.
So, okay, so Waleed, tell us your DFS plays one more time.
We got Dak Prescott. We got Ashton Genty. We got Ted McMillan. We got Jake Ferguson. And we got the Miami Dolphins defense.
Okay. Josh, can you give me your 5?
We've got Bryce Young as my quarterback, Javonte Williams as my running back, Jackson Smith and Jigma as my wide receiver, Juwan Johnson as my tight end, and then the Raiders defense to round it out.
Ryan, your FanDuel plays this week.
Let's see. I had Tila. I had Josh Jacobs. I had Puka. I had New England's defense. And I had super cheap ipso facto starting tight end Hunter Long, which by the way, guys, coach for Jacksonville came out this week and said that
He's
he has
gay?
no,
Oh.
no, he has no plans to go to free agency to find another tight end, which means that he's got confidence in Hunter Long. So, who already has as a backup tight end this year a 7 for 44 and 2 touchdown line. So,
Yeah, I mean, and if you honestly like, I wanted to question Ryan. This is what I said when we were building the team on the podcast. I'm like, I want to question your call of Hunter Long, but you called the Hunter Long touchdown 2 weeks ago, so you just might be the Hunter Long whisperer.
Yeah.
So I'm just
yeah,
gonna follow
and
you.
by the way, guys, when I called that touchdown, I did put a dollar bet down at plus 2,500, but not so lucky this week. I think he was 390 or 400 for a touchdown this week. Obviously, because he's the starting tight end now. But
Correct. All right, and my DFS team: Drake May, Rico Dowdle, Emeka Ibuka, Trey McBride, the Tennessee Titans as my pivot defense. So that's it. We'll see you guys soon. If you're on DraftKings, you should join the Football Absurdity DFS weekly DFS contest. It's $5. I'm saying this for potentially the listeners, but also for Ryan, who
Also,
never
Josh,
joins us.
And
Josh.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
I keep
I
forgetting.
get it. They're ducking us.
See, well, that's
Well-
the thing is Ryan forgets. Josh just thinks he's better than us.
well, no, the
Yeah,
problem is I used to get an email every week to remind me to join it, and I haven't been getting those all season. So
Well,
I
you
just
know
forget.
what? You just got your email here. We remind
Yeah, you get emailed, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'll join it. I'll make one this afternoon.
All right. So that's all at Gambletown for us, guys. I am looking forward to this weekend. I'm going to be hanging out with my family, so I'll be trying to not look at my phone and most surely be failing the entire time.
All right, guys.
So that's pretty much it. Good night, everybody. Have a great
Thanks,
great
guys.
Saturday, good Sunday.
Go
Good
Cubs.
betting.
Get some money.